Kumusta mga idol? July 26 sa taong 2003 nang makaharap ng ating pambansang kamao na si Manny Pacquiao ang isang Mexicano na si Emmanuel Lucero sa isang laban para sa IBF World Super Bantamweight title na pinaghahawakan ni Manny Pacquiao. Ito ang laban na matagal nang inintay ng Mexicano dahil sa panahong ito ay mainit na ang pangalan ni Pacquiao sa loob at labas ng Amerika. Dahil sa mga sunod-sunod niyang panalo, itong si Emmanuel Lucero ay gigil na para bang gusto na niyang bugbugin si Pacquiao kahit noong face-off pa lang. Itong Mexicano ay may malinis na record na 21 na panalo, wala pang talo, may isang tabla at 12 dito ay natapos by a knockout. Habang ang ating pambansang kamao naman ay may 36 na panalo, 2 talo, isang tabla at may 27 dito ay natapos by a knockout. Kaya muli ating balikan ang labang Pacquiao at Lucero highlights. Pero bago yan, kung ngayon ka palang napadpad dito sa aking channel ay huwag kalimutan na mag-subscribe at i-click ang notification bell para lagi kang updated sa mga future uploads pa natin.
But with force, Pacquiao is a devastating over-the-top puncher who's best when he remembers to throw his jab, but often forgets and just engages toe-to-toe. Part of Pacquiao's job here, Emmanuel, is to remember to box, but he's basically been separated from trainer Freddie Roach for 13 months. How can Roach get him to do what he needs him to do with virtually no contact with the fighter?
Well, the fact that he's worked with him before will help somewhat, but in addition to not being working with Freddie, which he should have, he's been getting in a lot of trouble and not training properly according to the reports we've been getting from the Philippines.
Which he denies.
Sa unang round, naging agresibo itong Meksikano. Medyo hirap pa makatama si Pacquiao sa madalas na pagyuko nito.
The training reports, which I'm quite sure we did, I believe there's some truth to some of that.
Lucero gets off a moment with Pacquiao pinned in the corner, and the crowd responds. Lucero, originally from Mexico, said he will have the support of this largely Mexican-American audience in the Olympics.
Very unusual to have a Mexican that comes from New York, but nevertheless he is a Mexican, and the Mexican crowd has responded tremendously to him, even though Pacquiao trained here in Los Angeles.
Pacquiao trying to generate a rhythm in round one.
He's having a problem getting close to Lucero, and Lucero's getting so low, but then he can't operate too effectively himself from that position without telegraphing.
Now Pacquiao manages to land a straight left hand. Hasn't made his jab effective so far. It's going to be difficult to do that if Lucero continues to fight in this exaggerated crouch.
Yeah, it's almost like a crab where he's dropping it extremely low, and actually, according to the rules, you're not supposed to go below your opponent's waistline, which he's did on a few occasions.
Now Pacquiao straightens him up with a left hand, and Pacquiao pins him against the ropes. Lucero trying to duck everything.
He's ducking, but he can't operate too effective himself from down there.
It's impossible to mount a counter offense when that's your defensive strategy, is to get that low.
That's right, and I think Pacquiao's starting to get his distance on it down.
To do most of the damage here in an odd and awkward first round.
And he's trying to time him with bob and weave and trying to shoot his left uppercut now as he sees him going down.
Lucero increasingly defensive, hasn't thrown that many punches in the second.
A case of nerves. He's never been in a fight against a major fighter.
CompuBox numbers in round one. Pacquiao landing 16 out of 64, including 7 of 29 jabs. Lucero was only 5 of 41. If Manny can keep finding a way to throw nearly 30 jabs in the round, I'm not sure how Lucero is going to get at him effectively, Emmanuel.
No, Lucero can't do too much effective there, and especially when it comes to throwing combinations. When you crouch that low, you can basically spring with one punch, and after that, you lost your balance usually.
Lucero was supremely confident in his discussions with us yesterday. may have underestimated the hand speed of Pacquiao, as some opponents do.
Yeah, Pacquiao's got a lot of experience. Don't forget, he's a two-time world champion, and he's had a lot of experience. And he's gradually following instructions of his tournament, Freddie Roach, which is basically to jab, take your time, relax, and trigger his man out. I don't think he's going to be able to hit him to the body that effective, though.
Pacquiao taking advantage of a slow break at the end of that clinch to hit Lucero with a left hand over the top. Seems to have momentarily stunned Lucero. Now Pacquiao tries to continue the attack.
As the fight goes on, Lucero's going to pull his head up more and more because he's going to find himself very much out of the fight when he's bobbing and weaving that low.
Well, not to mention that it's going to be physically exhausting for him to try to stay down in that crouch.
Absolutely.
Here's a three-punch combination by Lucero, one of the first multiple punch combinations he's tried in the fight. Lucero's hands look slow in this round. Body shot by Pacquiao and a big left hand. Again with the body. Lucero just taking the punishment and trying to duck away.
And it's very physically tiresome when you're bobbing and weaving that low. So everything that's happening on top of your back and on your shoulders tires you out a lot more.
Lucero won a lot of amateur fights with this style. Golden Gloves championships, New York State amateur championships. He must have just overwhelmed people.
When you have a guy fight punch swinging like that, the best thing, make it miss completely. That way he loses his balance. You don't block his punches, you just let it miss completely.
Pacquiao lands the straight left hand again. Fight has been one-sided in terms of meaningful contact, as virtually all of the real scoring blows have been landed by Manny Pacquiao. Pacquiao's trainer, Freddie Roach, argues that his 122-pound fighter, struggling to make weight, would be a threat to knock out 126-pound kingpins Eric Morales and Marco Antonio Barrera. Your take? 31 out of 66. Lucero virtually non-existent, 4 out of 42. Pacquiao landing nearly 60% of his power shots through the first 2 rounds. And there's more accurate punching from Manny Pacquiao against a pretty tough target to find. Finally, Lucero gets in a counter left.
Even if Lucero lands a punch, it may look impressive the way he swings. I don't think it's going to hurt Pacquiao because you can see it coming. Punches that you see coming don't hurt you. The punches that you don't see that hurt you.
Sa parting ito, ay saktong natsyempohan ni Pacquiao ang panganang Meksikano. Sa lakas ng kaliwang kamao, ay lupaypay ang abot ng Meksikano nang dahilan ng kanyang pagkatalo. Wagi ang ating pambansang kamao by round 3 TKO at natagumpayan niyang napanatili niya ang pagiging kampiyon sa divisyon na iyon.
You can see there's the left hand that starts to Lucero standing up.
He never saw the punch coming. It was too low to even see it coming. He thought he was probably out of the day.
So dito na nagtatapos ang ating video. At pasensya na mga idol at napakataas ng aking bakasyon. Sana'y huwag kayong magsawang sumuporta sa ating channel. Sa mga gusto pong magpa-shoutout ay i-comment nyo na lang po sa ibaba. At sa susunod po nating video ay aasahan pong mailagay ko ang inyong pangalan. Salamat po ulit sa suporta. Peace.